There are moments in automotive history that feel like a turning point when the road forks and the decision made sets the course for years, maybe decades. And right now, Dodge stands at one of those forks. The name Charger isn't just a badge slapped on a piece of metal. It's a legend, born in the golden era of American muscle, matured through street races and drag strips, and etched into pop culture with the roar of a Hemi V8 and the silhouette of a fastback storming down the highway. But today, the story takes a dramatic and unexpected twist. In 2024, Dodge did something radical. They made the Charger electric. Yes, a brand built on horsepower, exhaust notes, and gasoline. Flipped the switch literally and gave us the Dodge Charger Daytona R, an all-electric, futuristic muscle car designed to redefine what performance means in a battery-powered age. And for a moment, it felt like Dodge was ready to let that charge, but the dust hasn't settled. In fact, it's thick in the air because just 1 year later, Dodge is slamming the brakes. The Charger Daytona R is being paused, maybe permanently, for 2026. The four-door version, delayed, and more than that. Stellantis, the parent company of Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Chrysler, is pulling back on nearly all of its high-profile EVs. So what happened? Why did this electric revolution stall out so quickly? Are tariffs to blame? Is it a lack of customer demand? And most importantly, does this open the door for the glorious return of gas-powered muscle? Maybe even the Hemi? Let's break it all down, because what's happening right now with Dodge could be a sign of what's coming for the entire performance car world. So let's start with the big news. Dodge has officially hit pause on the Charger Daytona R. This was supposed to be the entry-level model for Dodge's all-electric muscle car future. A 496 horsepower beast with dual motors, blistering speed, and retro-futuristic styling that tried to blend the old and the new. For 2025, it was available in a two-door layout, starting at just over $61,000 before incentives, but fast forward to mid-2025, and the model is being cut from the 2026 lineup entirely. Dodge cites US tariff complications and a strategic shift toward internal combustion engine ICE offerings. Translation: Dodge is listening to its base, and the base still see RAVs gas, grit, and the growl of something more visceral than electrons, and the numbers don't lie. Online, stories are popping up of Charger Daytona EVs sitting unsold on dealership lots, with price tags slashed down to the $47,000 range when all incentives are applied. That's a massive discount and a pretty clear signal that sales aren't where Dodge hoped they'd be. To be clear, the Daytona R isn't the only piece of the puzzle here. The four-door Charger Daytona, originally set to arrive in spring 2025, is also delayed, now rescheduled to debut later in the year, or possibly even in early 2026. That timeline conveniently aligns with the launch of the all-new ICE-powered Charger models dubbed Sixpack models, powered by the high-output Hurricane twin-turbo inline-six engine. So while Dodge may be slowing down on the EV front, they're ramping up their gasoline-powered offerings. The upcoming Sixpack variants are expected to make somewhere between 420 and 540 horsepower, depending on trim and tuning, more than enough to get performance fans excited again, especially those who felt left behind in the EV transition. But here's the thing, this isn't just about the Charger. Stellantis is pulling back across the board. The Ram 1500 REV, the all-electric pickup that was supposed to rival the F-150 Lightning, is now delayed to at least summer 2027. That's 4 years beyond its original launch window. And the Ram Charger? That extended range EV with an onboard gas generator. It's been delayed to now expected in early 2026 instead of late 2025. All signs point to a strategic pivot inside Stellantis. Why? Well, let's connect the dots. First, the EV market is getting tougher. Rising material costs, slowing demand, and those looming US tariffs on Chinese-made battery components are squeezing profit margins. Second, the fanbase for brands like Dodge and Ram are still overwhelmingly ICE loyalists. These are drivers who love big trucks, big engines, and big noise, not necessarily quiet. Quick EVs with simulated exhaust sounds. And third, those Hurricane inline-six engines, they're looking more and more like the future backbone of Dodge and Ram performance. These engines deliver V8 levels of power with better efficiency, lower emissions, and most importantly, none of the headaches that come with battery sourcing and tariff politics. Now, let's go back to the Charger Daytona Scat Pack for a second. This model isn't being paused yet. In fact, It might become Dodge's only electric Charger left standing in the short term. With 670 horsepower, it offers serious performance, but its price is close to what a discounted R40 costs, and there are rumors that even the Scat Pack could see lower prices if Dodge unbundles some of the standard features, like the Track Pack. But it's clear Dodge is preparing for a future where gas still plays a major role, and that future might even include a return of the Hemi V8. Currently, only one Dodge product still offers a Hemi, the Durango SUV, but reports suggest the Hemi could return to both the Charger and the Ram 1500 in the next few years, especially if the market keeps pushing back on full EVs. And let's be honest, Dodge without a Hemi is like AC or DC without the guitars. Sure, you can still make noise, but it's just not the same. That brings us back to the heart of this story. The Charger Daytona R was supposed to be the bridge between the muscle car of the past and the electric era of the future. But right now, the bridge is looking more like a detour. The performance was there. The technology was impressive. The branding was bold. But none of it could overcome the fact that Dodge's core fans simply weren't ready to give up the smell of burning rubber and the rumble of a real engine. And maybe that's not a failure. Maybe it's a reality check. So where does Dodge go from here? The road ahead isn't entirely clear. But one thing is certain, the brand is listening. They've seen what's happening in the dealerships. They read the forums, watch the YouTube reviews, and track the sales data. And they're adjusting their course not just to follow the market, but to stay true to what Dodge has always stood for. The Charger Daytona R may be on pause, but that doesn't mean Dodge is retreating. If anything, this might be a resetter, moment to reassess, regroup, and realign their future performance strategy with the twin-turbo six-pack models on the way, a possible Hemi comeback, and the continued evolution of the STLA large platform to accommodate multiple powertrains. Dodge is playing a long game. They're not abandoning EVs entirely, but they're not going to shove them down customers' throats either, because at the end of the day, muscle cars aren't just about 0 to 60 times or horsepower ratings. They're about emotion, about connection, about what you feel when you drop the hammer and hear the engine scream in return. Whether that future is electric, gas, or some blend of the two remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, Dodge is still in the fight. And if they've shown us anything over the years, it's that they never go down without leaving some rubber on the road. So the question is, are you ready for what's next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Will you miss the Daytona RT? Are you holding out for the ICE-powered six-pack? Or are you one of the few still hoping the Hemi thunders back into showrooms? Either way, buckle up because Dodge's next chapter is just getting started.